Yes?
Understood.
Okay. So now today we are discussing on the topic of disorder of the middle ear. So disorder of middle ear, acute suppurative otitis media. It is defined as acute inflammations of middle ear cleft by pyogenic organism. The etiology is infant and children in low socioeconomic group. Low socioeconomic group means those who is living in the village and usually they are swimming and diving in the pond and like a river. So there is a common this disease. So initially viral infection of upper respiratory tract infections followed by invasions of pyogenic organism. Pyogenic organism means those bacteria which is forming the pus. So now root of infections. So number one, via eustachian tube, most common route, common in young children, swimmers and divers. An infection travel via lumen of the eustachian tube, subepithelial peritubal lymphatics. Number two, via external ear, traumatic perforation and tympanic membrane. Number three is a blood-borne. It is a blood-borne. So this is the root of the infections. Now the predisposing factors of acute suppurative otitis media. So recurrent attack of the common cold, upper respiratory tract infections, eczematous fever like measles, diphtheria, whooping cough. Number two, infections of tonsils and adenoids. Number three, chronic rhinitis and sinusitis. So chronic rhinitis and sinusitis is a nasal disease. So it will be discussed in the nasal case. And four, nasal allergy. And fifth, tumors of nasopharynx, packing of the nose, nasopharynx for epistaxis, and six is a cleft palate. So these 6 points is predisposing factors. So now bacteriology. Infants and young children, streptococcal pneumonia infections 30%, Haemophilus influenza 20%, and Moraxilla catarrhalis 12%. And other organisms include Streptococcus pyogenes, Staphylococcus aureus, Pseudomonas aeruginosa. In 18 to 20%, no growth is seen. So these are the bacteriology of acute suppurative otitis media. It is very important. So now pathology and clinical features. So pathology and clinical features, stage 1. Stage 1 is a stage of tubal occlusion. Tubal occlusion means eustachian tube occluded. So in the eustachian tube, edema and hyperemia of pharyngeal end of eustachian tube, blockage of the tube, so it absorbs the air and negative intratympanic pressures in the middle ear. So retraction of the tympanic membrane with some degree of effusion, clinically not appreciable. So clinical features of the patient is earache and deafness with no fever. Tympanic membrane is retracted with 4 shortening of handle of malleus and prominent lateral process of the malleus. So look in the diagram. This is the shortening of handle of malleus and prominent lateral process of the malleus. And other features is a loss of right reflex. There is no light reflex in the tympanic membrane. And tuning fork showing conductive type of deafness. So this is the clinical features of acute suppurative otitis media. So it is okay? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now second stage is presuppuration. Stage 2 is a presuppuration. So pyogenic organism invasions occurs if a stage of tubal occlusion. Tubal occlusions prolong, leading to hyperemia of the middle ear cleft. So you look in the diagram. If tubal occlusion is prolonged, leading to hyperemia of middle ear cleft. So inflammatory acutes appears in the middle ear, and tympanic membrane becomes congested. The symptoms mark earache, throbbing in nature, deafness and tinnitus, fever and restlessness, and sign is lesions of blood vessels appear along the handle of malleus and at periphery, giving rise to cartwheel appearance. And congestions of partensa leading to red drum and tuning for test conductive deafness. So this is the sign of presuppurative stage. So now the stage 3. It is a stage 2 is a presuppuration. So stage 3 is a suppuration. So there is a pus formation in the middle ear and mastoid air cells. And tympanic membrane starts bulging to the point of rupture. And symptoms: excruciating ear ache, increase in hearing loss. Children may have 102 to 103 degree fever associated with vomiting and convulsion. And sign: tympanic membrane is a red bulge with loss of landmarks. Look in the diagram. A yellow spot, nipple-like protrusion at the tympanic membrane where the rupture is imminent. And tenderness may be present at the mastoids. X-ray mastoid will show clouding of the air cells. So stage 3 of acute suppurative otitis media. Now stage 4 is a resolution. In the resolution phase, tympanic membrane rupture with a pulsatile discharge with subsidence of symptoms. And inflammations of middle ear cleft resolve with proper early treatment or mild infections. The resolution may occur without rupture. The symptoms: with drainage of pus, earache, fever will come down and the patient will feel better. And sign: external auditory canal may contain blood-stained discharge. A small perforation is seen at the posterior inferior quadrant. You look in the diagram, there is a small perforation. and hyperemia of tympanic membrane begin to subside and returns to normal. So this is the resolution phase. It is a stage 4. Now come to the stage 5th. So stage 5th is a stage of complications. So complication phase, so virulence, resistance of the patients. So complications, extracranial, mastoiditis, petrositis, facial nerve paralysis, labyrinthitis, and intracranial complications, extradural abscess, subdural abscess, meningitis, brain abscess, lateral sinus thrombophlebitis, and otitic hydrocephalus. So these are the complications of the acute superioritis otitis media. So now the treatment of acute suppurative otitis media, antibacterial therapy indicated in all cases with fever and severe earache should be given of minimum 10 days. So common organisms are Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae. The choice of drug are ampicillin 50 to 100 milligram per kg a day in 4 divided dose, amoxicillin 50 to 75 milligram kg a day in 3 divided dose. If patient is allergic patient to penicillin, if allergic patient of penicillin, then you give erythromycin, cefaclor, or cotrimoxazole can be given. And beta-lactamase producing Haemophilus influenza, Marxilla catarrhalis. So amoxicillin clavulanic acid and cefuroxime can be given. So this is the treatment of acute suppurative otitis media. Yes? You are hearing me? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now that was the antibiotics. Now nasal decongestant. Ephedrine nose drop 1% in adult and 0.5% in children. Oxymetazoline or xylometazoline. An oral nasal decongestant like pseudoephedrine, analgesic and antipyretics, and ear toilet, local heat. And if it is not subsided, then you can do the laryngotomy. Drum is a bulging and there is acute pain. So incomplete resolution in spite of antibiotic treatment with conductive treatment, persistent effusion beyond 12 weeks. So you can do in this case the laryngotomy. So now, another middle ear disorder is acute necrotizing otitis media. Acute necrotizing otitis media. Common in children, measles, scarlet fever, and influenza. Organism like beta hemolytic streptococcus, destructions of whole tympanic membrane with its annulus or ossicular chain, mastoid air cells and mucosa, and profuse discharge with large central perforation. In such case, healing is followed by fibrosis, ingrowth of a squamous epithelium from the meatus. The treatment of acute necrotizing otitis media is antibiotic for 7 to 10 days. If medications fails to control complications like mastocytitis occur, so you do the cortical mastectomy. Cortical mastectomy is the surgical procedure. Now, otitis media with effusion. This is another middle ear disorder. So it is very important also. Otitis media with effusion. It is also called serous otitis media, secretory otitis media, mucoid otitis media, and glue ear. It is an insidious condition characterized by accumulation of non-purulent effusion in the middle ear cleft. So fluid may be thin and serous, thick and viscid, nearly sterile. Common in school-going children, and pathogenesis, malfunctioning of eustachian tube, increased secretory activities of middle ear mucosa. So this is a pathogenesis. So now, etiology of otitis media effusion, malfunctioning of eustachian tube. So it is because of adenoid hyperplasia, chronic rhinitis and sinusitis, chronic tonsillitis, benign and malignant tumors of nasopharynx, palatal defect. So number 2, allergy, seasonal and perennial allergy to inhalant foodstuff, and obstruct eustachian tube, and increased secretory activity of middle ear. And number 3 is unresolved otitis media. Inadequate, ineffective antibiotics therapy failed to resolve acute suppurative otitis media. There is increased secretions of middle ear fluid by mucous gland and goblet cells. Number 4 is a viral. Adenovirus and rhinovirus infections of upper respiratory tract infections may invade middle ear, leading to increased secretory activity. So this is the etiology of otitis media effusion. So clinical features. So symptoms, children 5 to 8 years, hearing loss may be the only presenting symptoms. Insidious in onset and rarely exceed 40 decibels. May pass unnoticed and discovered on audiological screening. And delayed and defective speech. Due to the decrease in hearing, there is a delayed defective speech. Mild earache, history of recurrent attack of upper respiratory tract infections may be present with mild earache. And otoscopic finding of the patient is tympanic membrane is dull, opaque with loss of light reflex. So leach of blood vessels seen along the handle of malleus and periphery, and varying degree of dull and retract tympanic membrane. At times it appears full and bulging. Fluid and air bubble may be seen. Mobility of the tympanic membrane is restricted. So this is the clinical features of otitis media effusion. So look in the diagram. So now for deducting the hearing threshold, so different test for the hearing. First is a tuning fork test. Second is a conductive hearing test. And then you look the diagram. This is called audiogram. So here showing the conductive hearing loss, 20 to 40 decibels loss. There is ear bone gap. And sensorineural, SNHL means sensorineural hearing loss may be present due to the fluid pressing on round window. And number 3 diagram in the below, it is called impedance audiometry. It is also called tympanogram. So presence of fluid gives a low compliance of flat curve with shift to negative side. So X-ray mastoid showing clotting of the mastoid hair cells. You look in the diagram. First diagram is a audiogram plot. Second is the tuning fork test. And third is the impedance audiometry. Now treatment of otitis media effusion. So treatment is medical, decongestant like topical, nose drop, spray or systemic decongestant, and anti-allergics measures, antihistaminic, steroids may be useful in the case of allergy, and antibiotics, systemic antibiotic for upper respiratory tract infections, and unresolved acute suppurative otitis media. Then middle ear irritations like Valsalva, polarizations or catheterizations, and repeated swallowing in case of the children. And third is surgical treatment. So look the diagram. In the tympanic membrane incision given, it is called laryngotomy, and aspiration of the fluid. And insertions of grommet. You look in below, there is a grommet, just like a dumbbell. And tympanotomy or cortical mastectomy, surgical treatment of underlying cause, adenodectomy and tonsillectomy. So this is the surgical treatment of the otitis media effusion. So this is a laryngotomy. Indications of laryngotomy in the case of acute suppurative otitis media, severe earache with bulging tympanic membrane, incomplete resolution with conducive deafness, and complication of acute suppurative otitis media. Number 2 is is serous otitis media. Number 3 is aero otitis media. Number 4 is atelectic tympanic membrane. And contraindications of the laryngotomy is suspected glomus tumor. Anesthesia, general anesthesia or local anesthesia. So you look in the diagram, the laryngotomy knife given the incision in the tympanic membrane, and there is all instrument like ear speculum, laryngotomy knife and suctions, and all the instrument which is using in the laryngotomy. And drawback of the laryngotomy. Thick tympanic membrane are difficult to give incision. When the tympanic membrane is severely inflamed, distinction between the posterior meatal wall is lost, resulting in incision on the meatal wall. Postoperative care. In acute suppurative otitis media, daily mopping of the ear. Acute otitis media effusion, cotton wool should be put for 24 to 48 hours. Prevent from the water entry. And complications. Injury to the incudo-esophageal joint or steps. Bleeding of jugular bulb is high and floor of the middle ear is dehiscent, and middle ear infections and tympanosclerosis. And look the diagram, a small incision is made in the tympanic membrane and tube insertions to drain the fluids. So now another important thing is sequelae of secretory otitis media. Sequelae of chronic secretory otitis media, atrophic tympanic membrane, prolonged infusion lead to dissolutions of fibrous layer of tympanic membrane, leading to thinning and retractions, ossicular necrosis, commonly lenticular and long process of incus and steps, superstructure get necrosed, and conductive hearing loss is above 40 decibels. And tympanosclerosis and hyalinized collagen with chalky deposit are present in tympanic membrane around the ossicles or their joint, leading to ossicular fixation. It is called tympanosclerosis. Retraction pocket and cholesteatoma. Thin part of the tympanic membrane gets retracted and form a pocket in pars tensa, attic region. And cholesterol granuloma due to stasis of secretions in the middle ear and mastoids. So this is the sequelae of secretory otitis media. It is very important. So now come to the recurrent otitis media. So recurrent otitis media, the age of 6 months to 6 years, hollow upper respiratory tract infections, and 5 episodes in the year. And etiology, recurrent sinusitis, velopharyngeal insufficiencies, hypertrophy of adenoids, infected tonsils, allergy, and immune deficiencies, and feeding the babies in supine position without probing of the head, and management, treatment of underlying cause, antibiotics, laryngotomy and insertion of grommet, adenoidectomy with or without tonsillectomy, control of the allergy. So this is the management of recurrent otitis media. Now another middle ear disorder is aerotitis media. It is also called otitic barotrauma. Otitic barotrauma. It is a non-suppurative condition resulting from failure of eustachian tube, maintain middle ear pressures at ambient atmospheric level. So rapid descent during air flight, underwater diving, or compressed pressure chamber. Mechanism: the middle ear pressure is high, eustachian tube allow easy passive air from middle ear to pharynx. This condition, air from the nasopharynx cannot enter middle ear unless eustachian tube is actively opened by contraction. Intermediate ear unless eustachian tube is actively opened by contraction, muscles in swallowing and yawing. Then atmospheric pressure is higher than middle ear by 90 millimeter, high eustachian tube gets locked. In case of edema of eustachian tube, a small pressure difference may cause locking, and sudden negative pressure in the middle ear cause retraction of tympanic membrane. And hyperemia and engorgement or vessels, transductions and hemorrhage, sometimes rupture of labyrinthine membrane causing vertigo and sensorineural hearing loss. So you look in the diagram. So this is the aerotitis media, otitic barotrauma. So clinical features: the severe earache, deafness and tinnitus, vertigo may occur, tympanic membrane is retracted and congested or ruptured, and middle ear may show air bubble or hemorrhagic infusion. Hearing loss is commonly conductive, but sensorineural hearing loss may also be seen. And treatment: in mild cases, oral or topical decongestant with antihistaminics are helped. In the presence of fluid, failure of conservative treatment, mammectomy. And preventions of otitis media is avoid air travel, upper respiratory tract allergy, swallow repeatedly during descent, not to sleep during descent, Valsalva during descent, vasoconstrictor nasal spray, oral antihistamine or systemic decongestant should be taken in patient with previous history. In case of recurrent barotrauma, attention should be paid to nasal polyp, deviated nasal septums, allergy, and sinus infections. So this is the preventions of otitic barotrauma. So This is the middle ear disorder. Acute suppurative otitis media, necrotizing otitis media effusion, otitic barotrauma. These all are very important topic. So you can read. Thank you so.